This is breaking news.
And I want to acknowledge that we are here joined by a number of leaders at every level of government. We have our Governor, Kathy Hochul, who is joining us today. Our MTA Chair, Jano Lieber. Our City Council Transportation Chair, Sean Abreu. As you've heard from our Deputy Mayor for Operations, Julia Curson. Our DOT Commissioner, Mike Flynn. Our NYPD Transportation Chief, Obi. And we have from Riders Alliance, Betsy Plum and Andrea Alballeros Abdullah. And I also want to acknowledge our Borough President of Manhattan, Brad Hoylman Siegel. Council members Alexa Aviles and Amanda Farias. And our Brooklyn Deputy Borough President, Kim Council. Let's give them a round of applause. It is such a pleasure to be here alongside all of them as we come together to make an announcement that speaks to a singular truth that every person who calls our city home knows. In New York City, time is money. And we are going to give New Yorkers some of that time back. 6 minutes, to be precise. So to illustrate what 6 minutes saved really means, I have decided to keep the rest of my speech to 6 minutes exactly. We're going to use this stopwatch to show that the clock starts now. Now, for decade after decade, the working people of our city who rely on the bus have had their precious time treated with disdain. New York's bus system carries more riders than America's next 4 largest bus systems combined. And those riders commute on the slowest buses in the nation, many of which crawl at an average of 5 miles per hour. Too many New Yorkers walk faster to the bus stop than the bus they finally get on actually travels. Too many lives are planned around delays and commutes. Too many communities have demanded better. A devoted 34th Street busway, a redesign of Fordham Road in the Bronx, a rapid bus corridor down Flatbush Avenue. And yet, despite all of the work of so many that are here and even beyond this event, they have found that their voices have been ignored by those who can deliver change. That ends today. Our streets are public spaces. How we design them reflects who we believe they are for. Today, we make a decision that puts working New Yorkers first. Now, I am proud to stand alongside Governor Kathy Hochul this morning as we launch our bus action plan, Next Stop. This historic investment will make our buses faster and more reliable for millions of New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs. The Department of Transportation will work in partnership with the MTA to transform 50 priority bus routes citywide, some of which are currently the slowest in the city, many of which serve neighborhoods with few other transit options, and all of which deserve better. Now, here in Brooklyn, we will deliver the first of 5 rapid bus corridors by 2030 on Flatbush Avenue. Now, Flatbush Avenue is a corridor used by more than 130,000 riders every day, but slowed by some of the city's worst gridlock. The first phase of Flatbush is already underway and includes center-running bus lanes and new bus boarding islands. Future phases of the project include fully separated bus lanes, stations with level boarding, and fast, frequent service guaranteed. Now, Flatbush is only the beginning. Northern Boulevard in Queens, 116th Street in Manhattan, White Plains Road in the Bronx, Utica and Church Avenues in Brooklyn, Victory Boulevard on Staten Island. These streets and dozens of other routes across the 5 boroughs will receive dedicated rapid service and infrastructure improvements that finally put riders first. Part of that means changing how buses stop and start with transit signal priority, queue jumps, and yes, all-door boarding. These improvements may sound technical, but they deliver change that is anything but. Less waiting, faster trips, and buses that arrive when they're supposed to. We are also making sure that bus lanes stay clear. By 2028, all 50 corridors will have automated camera enforcement because these lanes should do exactly what their name promises. They should be for buses. Now, we are not just improving our bus lanes, we are improving our buses too. The MTA will replace 40% of our aging fleet with 2,500 brand new vehicles. Taken together, these investments will increase speeds along our 50 priority corridors by 20% on average. That means riders will save up to 6 minutes every trip, up to 12 minutes every commute. I'm just going to check. We have 1 minute and 53 seconds left for me to hit this goal. Now, if you take the bus to work, that adds up fast. Within 6 months, you will have spent 24 fewer hours on the bus. By the time a year rolls around, you'll have saved more than 2 days of commuting time. That means breakfast with your family. It means having the time to argue balls and strikes at your kid's Little League game. It means getting home for bedtime. It means agreeing with your friends that Egypt were robbed yesterday. Above all, it means time returned to New Yorkers who don't have nearly enough of it. And as we do so, we are also ensuring that the time spent on our bus system is a little more pleasant. No longer will the majority of bus stops in New York City be a rusty pole and slab of concrete. That is not good enough. By the end of this year, we will install 100 new bus shelters citywide and 300 more by 2031. We will add benches and leaning bars at 875 bus stops each year, with seating guaranteed at every single bus stop in the city by 2035. And we will plant more trees around stops to provide shade and protection from the elements. At every stop of this work, the working people who ride our buses every day will shape the decisions that we make. Input from street outreach and community workshops will be incorporated during the design and development phases. And even after construction is completed, we will continue to solicit feedback to make sure that each project is delivering exactly what we promised. Years from today, when we take measure of whether this plan succeeded, we will calculate it by how many New Yorkers get home earlier, by how many buses arrived when they were supposed to, by how many working people got some relief from the heat and the rain, and by how I can't even speak as fast as the savings that we're going to receive. Because what we're going to see is that New Yorkers will spend 6 fewer minutes on the bus and 6 more minutes living their lives. Because I want a city where Christopher Leon Johnson has enough time to come and yell at a press conference. I don't want him to be stuck on the bus on the way to the press conference. That's the city I want. A city where you can heckle your public officials because the bus is running on time. And our streets should work like the working New Yorkers who use them, quickly and efficiently. With this Buckshot Action Plan, we are taking a huge step towards a future where our buses run as fast as everything else in this city we love. One where every New Yorker's commute is defined by ease and dignity. Thank you. This is for Christopher. This is for every New Yorker who takes the bus. And this is for everyone who knows that a world-class city deserves world-class buses. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. Now, I'd like to introduce our governor, whose leadership and partnership is foundational to this vision.
Hello, New York. You want to go faster? Well, so do I. And I want to thank our mayor and his team for working so closely with us. You know, we've wanted to do this before. This is not a brand new idea, but we never had the partnership and the leadership in City Hall that we have right now, and I want to give them a huge round of applause. And to all the transit advocates, the Riders Alliance and everyone else, let's give them a huge round of applause for always being on the front line of what is right. I want to thank Janno Lieber for running an extraordinarily complicated system, but does it in an incredible way. Let's give him a round of applause as well. Betsy Plum, the Executive Director of the Riders Alliance, and all of you, I thank you so much. You are an important part of us getting congestion pricing over the line. Thank you very much. And we'll continue to stand up to the Trump administration and say, that ain't going anywhere, Mr. President. We're keeping our congestion pricing because it's 27 million fewer cars on the roads in our city. You're also helping me with the next phase of the 2nd Avenue subway so we can eliminate transit deserts and let people have an opportunity to get to the better paying jobs. Thank you, Riders Alliance, for being with me on that one. And how do you like the sound of the Interborough Express? You want to be able to go from Brooklyn to Queens without a nice stop in Manhattan? We're going to make that happen. So we've done an awful lot to help people on our subways and make our trains faster, and rider satisfaction is up. But you know what? Let's focus on the bus riders. I want you to have the same positive experience that you deserve. This is a way that people get to their jobs. The nurses wake up at the crack of dawn and need the bus to get them to the hospitals to take care of us and our families. The school teachers who show up every single day. The people who work the night shift and have to go home. The bus is their lifeline. And the students who go to school every day. I remember being a student. Yes, it was a few years ago, I get it. But I remember being a 16-year-old living in a blue-collar suburb outside of Buffalo. And I used to leave school every day at noon. Don't tell my teachers. And I went and volunteered at the Democratic headquarters. I had an hour bus ride every day. I would have liked somebody to say, let's make those buses go faster. And that's what we're doing today. So it's about putting the money where our mouths are, right? This could have happened, but the resources were not there. And that's part of my historic $68 billion investment in public transit. That's how we're able to get 2,500 brand new buses. You're going to love these buses. They're incredible. You're not going to get off the bus. You're going to want to go to the next stop. It's going to be so great. But also, we're going to make sure that we speed it up at 50 priority locations. We're going to allow people to be able to come off the back, on and off the back. Think about that, how it's going to speed things up. We'll get that done as well. Use every door for the boarding. And we're going to complete the transition to tap and ride. So I'll be shorter than the mayor's 6 minutes. How do you feel about that? Got you beat there, Mayor. Because I know these people are in a hurry. They're in a hurry to finally have faster buses in New York City. We got it done. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce MTA Chair and CEO Janno Lieber.
6 minutes. 6 minutes. Tick tock, tick tock. 6 minutes. Get on the line. Get on the bus. 6 minutes. Get on the line. Get on the bus. 6 minutes. Get on the line. Get on the bus. 6 minutes. Get on the line. Get on the bus.
I did ask for Empire State of Mind as my walk-up, but, didn't. They already promised that to you-know-who. Look, thank you, everybody, for being here. This day has been a long time coming. When I first became the MTA chair, when Governor Hochul appointed me, one of the first things I did was to actually crash a Riders Alliance rally protesting against slow buses. Protesting that buses were slower than walking, as everybody knew. I showed up uninvited, and the press corps kind of laughed at me because I was the first MTA chair ever to show up in a protest against the MTA. But as I told everybody at that event, this is a new situation. You know who hates slow buses? The MTA leadership. And we have been fighting every day, week after week, month after month, every years for more bus lanes, more enforcement of cars and trucks that are double parking, faster buses, and congestion pricing, which has been such a positive effect on traffic. There you go. There you go. No secret, we had Governor Hochul's strong support, but the support at the local level in the prior City Hall was, shall we say, uncertain. Not the case anymore. Our partners today, this mayor, this DOT commissioner, this governor, who's been a supporter of faster buses from the get-go, all want to make sure that buses are way faster than walking. They want to follow up on everything that's been promised. The overdue commitments to build bus lanes, which, by the way, are a matter of law in the city of New York. Matter of law. And the ramping up the traffic enforcement. We all see the illegal parking that blocks buses. A little of it is going on right here, by the way. Might have noticed that. But buses can only move as fast as the traffic. So if you are a bus rider, this is what's going on here today is terrific news. We have been trying to move the ball forward the last couple of years. Everybody knows about our borough-by-borough bus redesigns, which have actually led to increases in bus service. Thank you, Governor Hochul, for funding that. Brooklyn is next. We're going to stop running buses on routes that people don't go to or running to terminals that were torn down 50 years ago. That's what we're going to change, among other things. We're going to increase, right on, we're going to increase automatic camera enforcement, which is already showing huge benefits. You know what? New Yorkers are smart. When they get that first ticket, the overwhelming majority of them don't get a second. Automatic camera enforcement works. It protects New Yorkers the same way that speed cameras do. And we're going to buy a ton more buses because older buses spend a lot of time sitting in the maintenance depot rather than out on the road. Thanks to the governor, we've got $1.5 billion in our new capital program to buy new buses, and we're fast on the way. Listen, this work is going to have a much greater impact now that Albany and City Hall and MTA and everybody are on the same page. I want to thank the folks on the city team who contributed to getting us to this report, but especially the MTA folks, Dara Goldberg, your team, MTA policy, the bus team at New York City Transit, Demetrius Critchlow, Frank Farrell, and everyone who works for them. Final point. I always say it. Buses are the engine of equity in our city, and they are the engine of affordability. They allow mass transit is what makes New York City possible. It's what makes the density that is the source of our dynamism, our specialness, and not to mention that mass transit is always the antidote to climate change. And if Washington's not going to worry about it, we in New York are, let me tell you. So by improving the bus system, Mayor, we're going to strike a blow for equity, something that you always talk about. We're going to strike a blow for affordability.
Buses, we'll have more on that in just a little bit.